The revelation that one of television's most beloved stars, Alda, has shared a final confession so powerful that it left millions of MASH** fans heartbroken. It's the kind of moment that stops you in your tracks, compelling you to listen until the very end, because it speaks not only to the legacy of a show but to the fragility of life itself. Alda is more than just the wisecracking, sharp-tongued Hawkeye Pierce from MASH star. For over a decade, he carried the series on his shoulders, delivering wit, warmth, and humanity to a role that defined television during the 1970s and early 80s. MASH** wasn't just a sitcom, it was a cultural phenomenon that mixed comedy with searing reflections on war, morality, and human resilience. And Alda wasn't just acting. He was shaping the very soul of the show. Fans often describe him as the beating heart of MASH**, someone who gave voice to a generation grappling with the lingering scars of Vietnam. But behind the laughter, the charm, and the legacy, Alda recently revealed something deeply personal that has shaken fans to their core. His confession wasn't about fame, success, or regret. It was about mortality, love, and the bittersweet truth of saying goodbye. At 88 years old, Alda admitted that while he remains grateful for a life well lived, he now faces the painful reality of Parkinson's disease, a diagnosis he kept private for years before finally opening up to the world. What makes this confession so moving is not just the illness itself, but the grace with which Alda has chosen to confront it. In interviews, he has spoken candidly about his fears and struggles, admitting moments of frustration and sadness, yet also expressing a profound sense of gratitude. "I don't want to wallow in self-pity," Alda confessed. "I want to keep moving, keep doing, keep being part of life for as long as I can." For fans, hearing this was heartbreaking. The man who once portrayed a doctor saving lives in a war zone is now facing a battle of his own, one he knows he cannot win. And yet, his courage continues to inspire. Even in vulnerability, Alda teaches us what MASH** always sought to remind viewers, that life is fragile, fleeting, and meant to be cherished. In one of his most emotional moments, Alda confessed that the hardest part is not his own suffering but the thought of leaving behind the people he loves most, his wife of more than 6 decades, his children, his grandchildren, and the millions of fans who still hold MASH** close to their hearts. He spoke of the fear of being forgotten, yet his legacy is etched forever in television history. The final episode of MASH**, watched by over 105 million viewers in 1983, remains the most-watched scripted television event in U.S. history, a record unlikely ever to be broken. What makes his confessions so powerful is that it's not really about death, it's about life. Alda has emphasized that he doesn't want to be remembered with sadness, but with joy. "I'd rather people smile when they think of me," he said, "because that means I gave them something worth remembering." That humility and warmth are exactly why fans love him, and why his words now carry such weight. Alda's final confession is a reminder that even our heroes are human, and even the strongest among us must one day say goodbye. But through his courage and honesty, Alda leaves us with one final gift, the understanding that life's true measure is not in how long it lasts, but in how deeply it is lived. For MASH** fans, the tears are real, but so is the gratitude. Alda's story isn't just the closing chapter of an actor's life, it's a universal message of resilience, love, and the power of legacy. And in that, he will never be forgotten.